Even in the darkest rain, a single light can guide you home. This is the story of how hope found its way through the storm. It was a cold evening, and the city was covered in heavy rain. Streets were empty, and lights flickered in the mist. Daniel, a young man in his 20s, walked without direction. He had lost his job, his home, and, worst of all, his faith in himself. "Why does life have to be this hard?" he whispered to the wind. Every drop of rain seemed to echo his doubts. His shoes were soaked, and so was his hope. Then, from across the street, an old woman waved at him. She stood under a broken umbrella, beside a small food stall that still burned with warm light. "Come here, son. You'll catch a cold," she called out kindly. That single light, faint but steady, drew him closer. The smell of soup and ginger tea filled the air. The old woman smiled, her wrinkles deep but gentle. "Sit down. You look like you've been walking for days." Daniel hesitated, but sat. He hadn't eaten since morning. She poured him a bowl of hot soup, steam rising like comfort itself. As he ate, she spoke softly. "You know, son, every storm runs out of rain. You just have to wait long enough." Daniel looked up. "But what if it never stops raining?" She laughed. "Then you learn to dance in the rain." Her words were simple, yet something in them touched him deeply. For the first time in weeks, Daniel smiled, not because his problems were gone, but because he felt seen. When he tried to pay, she refused. "No need. Just promise me one thing. When you find your light again, share it with someone who needs it." Days passed. The rain finally stopped, but Daniel's challenges didn't. He applied for jobs, faced rejection after rejection, but somehow the warmth of that small food stall stayed in his heart. He began volunteering at a local shelter, serving food to others who were lost just like he once was. One night, while cleaning tables, a young boy came in, soaked, hungry, and scared. Daniel saw himself in the boy's eyes. He smiled and said, "Hey, come sit here. You'll catch a cold." And when he poured a bowl of soup, he realized he had become the very light that once saved him. A year later, Daniel had found work as a teacher. Every morning, he would walk past the same street where he met the old woman, but her stall was gone. Only the faint sign remained, rusted but still readable. "Hope is served here." He stood in the rain, smiling. That night, Daniel started his own small project, serving free food every weekend for anyone in need. People began to call it the light in the rain. Each bowl of soup carried the same warmth that once saved him, and in every act of kindness, he found that hope never dies. It only changes hands. Daniel looked at the people around his stall, faces lit by soft yellow light. He whispered to himself, "Hope isn't something we wait for. It's something we give." The rain began to fall again, but this time, no one ran away. Laughter filled the air, and the light shone brighter through the storm. As the camera pulled back, Daniel's voice echoed. "Even in the darkest rain, there's always someone waiting to light the way." Fade out. Soft piano music, gentle rain sound.